Hey everyone, this is The Good, the Bad, and the Hungry. I'm your host and chef, Dave. What I plan to do with this show is teach those who don't know how to cook easy and simple recipes so that they can look like they cook like a champ. Today we're going to start with the first thing that I learned how to cook, which is chicken parmesan. It's simple, easy, and it should taste great. First, we start with our chicken. I have some organic free range, but you can use whatever. Just it has to be skinless and boneless. Just take a knife, open up the packaging, just lay it out onto one single sheet of plastic wrap. Then you take a second sheet of plastic wrap and put it over top. And then we proceed to get medieval with it to thin it out to about 1/3 of an inch. So 1, 2, missed that one, 2, 3. Next we're going to start on our 3-step breading process. You get 3 bowls, kind of biggish, enough to hold each chicken in its entirety. First bowl, left hand, flour. This is a dredging agent. It'll allow the egg and breadcrumb mixture to stick a lot better. And no real measurement for this, just pour out however much you need. Second bowl, we got eggs. I use about 4. And then we move on to our breadcrumb mixture. I start with about 2 to 3 cups of breadcrumbs. Pour them in. I'm using Italian blend, but you could use just regular. Then to that, I throw in 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, 1 tablespoon of thyme, about 1½ tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, and about 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt. And then finally, a couple cranks of black pepper, just for seasoning. We whisk that all together. Press that in there. Okay, mix up the eggs. After I'm done with this, or after you're done with this, you should preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Now comes the trickiest part of this. I'm going to show you a way to bread your chicken completely without having your hands look like they're the hands of the Incredible Hulk by the end of it. First off, you need to designate a wet hand and a dry hand. Take your wet hand and pick up the chicken. And you drop it into the flour and flip. You then, using your dry hand, sprinkle on what you need and shake off the excess. Then take your dry hand, transfer the chicken into the egg wash. Then, using your wet hand, pick up the chicken and flip it over, give it a nice bath. Then once it's done swimming there, drop it into your breadcrumb mixture and use your dry hand to sprinkle on extra seasoning. And over and over and over, and then put it down on your tray. And see, not too bad. Now that your breading is done, we're going to go take it over to the stovetop. Now at this point I feel that it is necessary for me to tell you that after handling raw chicken, you should wash your hands before you do anything else. If you don't follow this rule and you poison your mother-in-law, don't come crying to me and don't try and blame me. You take a high-sided Teflon non-stick skillet and put about 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil in there and coat the bottom of the pan and let it heat up until it's just short of smoke point. You take your chicken and your tongs. I like to use tongs instead of spatula, easier to grab. And you lay individually each chicken breast down. And you let it sit in there until each side has a crispy look to it and is golden brown. We're not going to be cooking it all the way through. And while that's cooking up, you take a high-sided baking dish and you cover the bottom with your choice of tomato sauce. I'm using canned. You could make your own, but canned is just easier. And you put it on the bottom so that your chicken gets fully covered. Be sure not to use the entire jar. And then, let's see what's going on here. Oh, perfect. Flip it over. And let that cook again. Now once that's done, we pick it up and put it into the sauce. And then you just simply repeat with each chicken breast. Alright, now that we got the chicken sitting in the sauce, we're going to take nice, about 1.5 cups of mozzarella cheese. You can really just eyeball it and just cover each chicken breast with a good amount of cheese. And then, once that's there, take the rest of your tomato sauce and cover the tops of the chickens. Spread it out as evenly as you can. Top with just a little bit more cheese. Now, we're going to take this and we're going to put it in our 400-degree oven for about 30 minutes, or until the cheese on top is brown and kind of crunchy looking. While we're doing that, we're going to cook some pasta. You can use whatever you like. Just follow the instructions on the bag and it should turn out just fine. Alright, once you notice that the cheese has been in fact browned, you can take the chicken out of the oven. And like I said before, we're going to serve it with some pasta. So grab your chicken, put it out, and there you have my version of chicken parmesan. I'm Paul Dean!